We are going to be using the data from this table that I made up, and we're going to be following along with this video in order to create a graph using the online Create a Graph website. So what I've done is I've made a Flip Cup Challenge Part 2, and we're pretending that 3 teachers had races to flip 4 cups. And after attempt 1, these are Mr. Davis's time was 32 seconds, Ms. Mujtaba, who's the teacher next door in room 3, 45 seconds, Mr. Thambu, 50 seconds. And then we see the scores for attempt 2 and attempt 3. And we're going to take the information from this table, our data, and we are going to put it into our graphing software. Bonus, can anyone tell me the mode of this data set? Remember, the mode is the number that occurs the most often. You'll see 40 show up 2 times, and that's the only number that shows up twice. So 40 seconds would be our mode. But that's not today's goal. So we're going to flip over here to the Kids Zone Create a Graph, and we're going to choose a line graph because just like yesterday, we want to track how this changed over our attempts or how our scores changed over time. So going with the line graph. All right. Here we have colors and stuff. If you want to play around with that, I'm okay with it. Please leave the background color white, but your grid color can change. I'm going to make mine blue today. All right, so that's my design. Now I'm going to go into my data. My graph title is going to be Flip the Cup Challenge. My x-axis, just like yesterday, that's why it's coming up for me, because it remembers the work I did yesterday. We've got attempts on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, we have our time, which in brackets, I'm even going to write in seconds. So that would be better for us to do. This time we have 3 items because we have 3 attempts. And we have 3 groups because we have 3 different teachers. So here's this bar on the bottom that's going to allow us to slide over. But let's do some labeling first. So in group 1, we're going to label that Mr. Davis. In group 2, that's going to be Ms. Mujtaba. And group 3 is going to be Mr. Thambu. Okay, I'm not going to change any of these settings here unless I wanted to add a point shape. I'm going to change no shape to circle, and that way it'll just be more clearly where our data lands. Now we're going to label the item label, and we'll put our values in. So item label, just like last time, we're going to have attempt 1, attempt 2, and attempt 3. And our values are going in. So these are Mr. Davis's values, right? Because I'm in group 1 underneath Mr. Davis. So I'm going to go back to the chart. Mr. Davis had 32 seconds in attempt 1, 24 seconds in attempt 2, and 55 seconds in attempt 3. So 32, 24, 55. Ms. Mujtaba, she decreased by 5 every time. So 45, 40, 35. I'm going to go back over. 45, 40, and 35. And Mr. Thambu's next. Mr. Thambu was 50 seconds, then 15 super fast, and then 40 seconds. So 50, then 15, then 40. Okay, so we've got our data in the graph, our labels all labeled. We should be able to preview the graph and see what it looks like. Let's check it out. Here's our graph. We'll zoom in, make it a little bit bigger for you. We've got our lines, Mr. Davis in green, Ms. Mujtaba in purple, and there's Mr. Thambu with the high score, low score, and then a medium score in orange. And you can see the circle shapes marking each of our scores, and everything's labeled, including the title. So if it looks like this, maybe yours are different colors, or maybe you've got a little bit of different design choices happening, that's cool. What I would like you to do is I would like you to screen capture it. And I'm going to have to show you how to do that in class. But what you do is you hold Control, Shift, and then there's a button at the top of your screen that looks like a square with 2 lines beside it. If you hit those 3 buttons together, then it looks like this. And then you can take your cursor and you're just going to click in the corner, and then you're going to pull the square. Oh, I don't like how I did that because I missed my label here. So I'm going to actually click in a different corner, and now I'm going to pull it again. So I've highlighted everything. Now I've got it screen captured. Boom. And now it's ready to go into my slideshow. I'm just opening a new one because I didn't have mine ready to go, but yours will be in the Google Classroom. And I'm going to write line graph. Okay, after you make this one with the teacher's data, I did Control V to paste, right? Or you could do a right click, click paste, the same thing. Okay, so once you do that, then you can go ahead and do a second line graph, and I'll tell you what your data is going to be for that. All right, good job following along.